What's up, everybody? Come on in. Come on in. Bring it on in. It is the Army List Review Show. Very excited to be here. We are much later than we normally are, which is, I'm sorry. I'm just so glad that you guys are all here. Welcome, Quan. And it's going to be a really good time. We've got 7 lists. I have a huge announcement as well. I'm gonna wait for a little bit, and we'll talk about it as we go. Nothing crazy is happening. The same amount of content that you've been seeing from us is going to be there, and it's going to be good stuff. So no reason to worry. But I'm just excited. You know, I'm happy that we're doing this. I'll come out and say it. All right. Tyranid content is going to be shifted to a different spot. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to be on WW or anything. We're still going to be doing the same exact thing. In fact, there's going to be actually probably a little bit more content from me, maybe a little bit more diversified. W&W is going to be for Warhammer, just generalized, of course. And Tyranid content is going to move to a different place. I've linked the channel in the description below. It is entitled Hive Mind Hobbies. So that is going to be the place for all of your Tyranid needs right there. But for the time being, we're still going to be doing the Army List, of course, today on this channel. Everybody's memberships and priority for your memberships is of course always going to be respected and held from W&W. It's going to be the same kind of stuff, but eventually it will be swung over to Hive Mind Hobbies, which brings me to our super chat goal. This has been something that I've been thinking about for a while. This idea, if we get to 10 super chats of any kind, or I think just like, I don't know, 4 memberships or something like that, I'm going to take one of the lists that is submitted by our members here, and I'm going to create a video of me deploying it and then simulating like a first turn with that list through TTS. That video after the stream will be directly posted onto that new channel. And Jack Reacher is telling me that link does not work. Jack, you're a real one. All right, boom. Everybody try that link that is posted in chat. That link should work, and I will make a comment or something. I guess pin it to this video. But thank you, Jack Reacher, for already taking a look at it. I appreciate it. Again, I'm not going anywhere. You know, the Wednesday live streams are not going anywhere at all. We are looking, linked one working. We're working on diversifying our content a little bit, and I just wanted a space just for our bugs. And then, you know, Wednesday Night Warhammer will be all Warhammer. But enough about that. Let's get into what we're all here for. We want to look at all of these lists. It's going to be as memey as the person who sent it. So we have 4 members lists today. We're going to go through all of those. And then at the end, in order to keep it fair, I'm just going to randomly generate and spin for which list gets chosen. And that's how we're going to do it. But our first list, everybody, is from K-Rib Ree. He says, "Hey Jordan, this is my list I'm taking next Saturday to a local RTT. Wish me luck. Looking for any feedback/advice. Thanks, Jack Reacher. I appreciate you subbing, man." It is Tyranid's Invasion Fleet, of course, 2,000 points. We have a Hive Tyrant, a Hyper-Adapted Raveners. That's a pretty interesting start to the list. It's pretty interesting. All your characters are just Hive Tyrant with full melee, which I do like. and Hyperadapted Raveners. Seems pretty sweet. And then in our battle line, we have 2 squads of Gargoyles and double Hormigons. Now, we're going to look at the rest of it. But I think you probably only want 3 screening units as opposed to 4. I think 4 is quite a bit. We'll see. We've got 1 Biovore, 2 Exocrines, double Lictor, double Maleceptor, 1 Ravener squad, of course, to go with the Hyperadaptive, and then 2 Rupture Cannon Tyranid. This is good. Like, this is great. This is fine. The only thing that I would probably want is I probably want a Neurotyrant to help out the Tyranifexes and maybe the Exocrines. So, and I think it also comes down to a playstyle type of thing. I think this list is really good. And who is this? K-Rib? Interesting name. Thank you again for being a member, K-Rib. But I think you have to play it a couple of times and see what you like. But I'm thinking that, I don't know, just Synapse is really important in Invasion Fleet. Is triple Lictor still defend maybe like definitively in today's meta, or do challengers make them worse? I don't know. It's a good question. I do think challenger cards make the style of denying primary and everything with Gargoyles, I think they make that style a little bit worse. I will be honest with you. But I think Lictors are kind of fine. I think Lictors are good. You know, they can threaten to score primary and everything. So here's what I would do. Here's my knee-jerk reaction. And it could be wrong. But discarding these 2 Hormigons and getting a Neurotyrant. If you do that, and then put like Perfectly Adapted on the Raveners to reroll a charge or something, that's what I would think I would do. So that's what I would do. Maybe you don't have enough units after that, but like, I don't know. I think you're probably fine, right? And then just go from there. I've been wanting to try Invasion Fleet with like 1 squad of Gene Stealers and 1 squad of Perfectly Adapted Raveners. That's what I want to do, like 2 big melee punching units. And then I think also in that list that I made with that idea, yeah, awesome, Upin. I also had a Psychophage to put the Gene Stealers at AP3, put the Raveners at AP3. That seems like a really good spot. But K-Rib, this seems really good. It seems fine. I would be tempted to drop the Hormigons for a Neurotyrant and then putting Perfectly Adapted on Raveners. Then you're 10 points away. I think it's fine. Another thing you could do is not put Perfectly Adapted and then just have a Ripper Swarm if you really want that extra unit. But yeah. Jaldrin says, I've been really liking Neurolictors lately. Funnily enough, the 4-up Invuln keeps them around a lot longer to do more scoring. Sweet. Yeah, I can't argue with that. I think the reason why I liked Lictors, or I like Lictors so much more, is they're 20 points cheaper. They fight first. You know, 2 damage is really good. And then I feel like Neurolictors, the Battle Shock mechanic, is just, I think it's just too swingy. You know, if we had an opportunity to get like a second Shadows or something, whew, we could pop Shadows twice in a game. Now, I think Neurolictors start screaming out of the woodworks, you know? Anyways, moving on to our next person. It's going to be Marble Malphite. Boop. 8630 is a member as well. Thank you so much for your support and everything. Really appreciate it. Yeah, challenger cards stink. I'm probably going to make a video and post about it soon on my thoughts on challenger cards. They're not the best thoughts. I will be honest with you. Marble Malphite. Hi again. Love your feedback on old list, and now I'm going for another tournament in 2 weeks and decided to try Psychophage and Von Ryans, who now are pretty fun as 6-man squads who can do some fun damage. Here's the list, and glad to know your feedback. And yes, there is no Gene Stealers. Doesn't like them. Uh-oh. This might be tough. And it's Vanguard. I really like Gene Stealers. I really, really like Gene Stealers. I think they're super sweet. I was working on a video about like the 5-man Gene Stealer squad with a Broodlord. Like you just take 5, you add it with the Broodlord, and that's pretty sweet. But anyways, the list name is Davy Jones, guys. I mean, all these guys look like Davy Jones. I think you're winning off your list name regardless. We've got Vanguard Onslaught, of course, Death Leaper, Hyper Adapted, Swarm Lord, Winged Hive Tyrant, Winged Prime. Are we double Tyrant? Double Tyrant actually seems kind of sick. I'm not going to lie. That sounds pretty sweet. Let's see how the rest of the list shakes out. I'm assuming we're going to have 2 squads of melee warriors. All right. Battle line, we've got Hormagaunts, a Biovore, Triple Lictor, a Mawloc, Neurolictor, 2 Winged Primes, I know, right, Venice? A Neurolictor, a Psychophage, 1 Ravener squad, 1 melee warrior squad, 1 3-man. In my opinion, I think we're really going to try and bump that up to a 6-man. That's like the only thing that's screaming at me so far. I mean, the Mawloc, too. I don't think the Mawloc is like super... Martin, you run Swarm Lord and Hive Tyrant? That's pretty sick. Everybody's swimming in CP if you do that. And then a 6-man and a 3-man Von Ryans. The Psychophage is in here. Okay, cool. I think the Psychophage is kind of a neat tech piece. You know? I do. All right, so let's see our point total again. Our first priority is we want to bump that 3-man Tyranid Warrior Squad up to a 6-man. We're exactly at 2,000 points, so we're going to have to do some wiggling on stuff. Winged Hive Tyrant with Chameleonic. How good do you think, how useful do you think the Chameleonic enhancement has been for you guys? It has not been great for me. I will 1,000% say that. All right. So I think we drop Stalker off of the Hyper Adaptives. We just drop it. Get out of here. You know? Howdy, what's up, Sebla? Does Flesh Skirt stay in the list? Oh, yeah. I love Death Leaper. I'm not sure how I feel about you calling it Flesh Skirt, but I do think that it is, I don't know. I think Death Leaper's pretty good. I like his -1 leadership aura, and the 4 Benbone was very good. Useless. Upin, you think Chameleonic is useless? I think Chameleonic is useless too, but if you have the points, I think it's better than Stalker. Okay, so we're going to drop Stalker, and then we are also going to drop Von Ryan's Leapers, so that's going to give us 80 points. And then we're just going to up this Tyranid Warrior Squad to a 6-man. Because I think if you're running the Tyranid Warriors, you really need to just go all in. You're one of those weird Nid players with no Lictors and no Biovore? Martin. Dude, you got it. Biovore, man. It's so good. Biovore's very good. You know, it's tough. Because Tyranids, you're like, if you're playing Tyranids, you play a Biovore. Okay? That's it. That's all it is. But, I don't know. And there should be an argument where, is that good for the game that certain armies have to absolutely have one selected unit? Who knows? You have a Synaptic Nexus and no Neurolictor. Wow. I think that's fine. And we do actually have a pretty sweet Synaptic Nexus list that we're going to look at. The man who refused to pay the tax. He said, no way. Cool. Oh, it's on your Christmas list. Awesome. Well, 'tis the season, you know. But let's review the list one more time. We've got Death Leaper, Hyper Adapted, Swarm Lord, Winged Hive Tyrant, Winged Prime with Hunting Grounds, Winged Prime, 1 Hormagaun Squad, Biovore, Lictor, Mawloc, Neurolictor, Psychophage, Raveners, 6 Tyranid Warriors, and then a 6-man Von Ryans. Now, another thing that I would say before we move on exactly The Moloch, I think if you're bringing a Moloch, you're bringing a Moloch because you think it's cool and you want to bring it. That's awesome. I personally don't think the Moloch is the most competitive unit choice right now. I will also say that with Vanguard Onslaught, I think the linchpin unit of Vanguard Onslaught, in my opinion, is Gene Stealers. And I know you don't like Gene Stealers, but oftentimes if you're playing Vanguard Onslaught, you're playing at least 20 Gene Stealers. My list is 25 Gene Stealers right now. So, you know, maybe you can find a different sculpt for your Gene Stealers. You know, if it's a different kind of aesthetic that you're going for, maybe do it like that. But I think this list could be interesting as well. I think the hyper-adapted Raveners are very strong. And I'm actually pretty up on the melee warriors. My list that I ran at a recent RTT included a squad of 6-man Tyranid warriors, which you actually can look at some shorts at Hive Mind Hobbies. Don't want to plug too much. But if you go to Hive Mind Hobbies, I did post some shorts with my list. It's pretty sweet. Moving on, we've got Bird Dog. Thanks, Bird Dog. Good to see ya. But he calls me Jor Daddy. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Very budget constrained. Got up to 3K points on about 200. That's pretty sick, man. That, and especially with Tyranids, Martin, that's kind of crazy because Tyranids are not a cheap faction at all. They really, really, really aren't. Royal Magic. Question on the Psychophage. When it says score a hit for its ability. No. So because it's a flamer, if you just shoot your flamer at something, then boom, they get the debuff to AP. You know? Yeah. Seems good. All right. Oh, we got another Vanguard Onslaught list? Sheesh. What's up, Chris? Welcome. Glad you came from the W&W Discord, man. I've been inspired by the might of the Gargoyle. Recently picked up a Death Leaper. I really do like Death Leaper. So I've built a Vanguard Onslaught list to flex their prowess. Sweet. I like it. Death Leaper, Broodlord with Neuronode. I've been finding that I don't really need Neuronode too much. You know? If you have the points for it, of course. But I've just been, if you're just able to be really, really, really careful with your deployment, I think you should be okay. Broodlord with Stalker. Winged Hive Time with a Chameleonic. Okay, cool. Chameleonic and Stalker, I think they're all right, but oftentimes I feel like we could use our points elsewhere. Triple Gargoyle. Man, you guys are going to think that there's something wrong with me, but like, I think it's too many Gargoyles in Vanguard, you know? Got Triple Gargoyle, 1 Biovore, 20 Gene Stealers, 3 Lictors, a Neurolictor, double Exocrine, and double Tyrannofex. Seems pretty good. I think it's too much shooting, though. Because, like, with Vanguard Onslaught, if we look at the units that are really, really making use of Vanguard Onslaught, it's like all of your characters up here, right? Of course, Gargoyles are kind of making use. You know, I've advanced in charge with Gargoyles exactly one time. It was pretty funny, and it ended the game on the spot, but but not exactly that. But I don't know. I just don't think in general they're not really, really making use of Vanguard Onslaught. The Biovore, of course, you need 20 Gene Stealers. I think there's a point where we can just say 20 Gene Stealers is fine. I like 25 for that extra unit right there. The Lictors, okay, so I guess it's more of points total. And it's 400 plus 280, 580 points. So over a quarter of the list is being dedicated to shooting with a melee kind of archetype. I think shooting is important sometimes. However, it's not necessarily like the list that I ran at the RTT that I think actually did pretty well. I went 2-1 with. There's no shooting. The only shooting in it is the flamers from my hyper-adapted Raveners. Who knows? But anyways, what I would do is I think if we probably drop 2 Exocrines, what's that, 280 points, and then we want to get another melee unit. And here's the melee unit that I think that immediately comes to mind. So that's 280 points. And if we drop, let's say we drop Chameleonic. Oh, it's 280. We only need 200. We drop Stalker from the Broodlord. That's going to give us 200 and... What am I doing? Oh, dropping the Excrins. Goodness gracious. That's going to give us 290 points, which is going to be enough for a hyper-adapted Ravener squad. And I think... the hyper-adapted Ravener brick is the best unit in the detachment. Do you need double Tyrannifex with 2 Exocrines? I actually like double Tyrannifex over double Exocrine in Vanguard Onslaught. Because if you think about it, anything that a normal Vanguard Onslaught list is just going to destroy anything that an Exocrine is really, really good at punching into. Like any Space Marine equivalent body, any like mid to higher toughness elite infantry units, anything like that. Gene Stealers just rip it apart. Honestly, Lictors do pretty good into as well. So if you're going to run a shooting platform in Vanguard Onslaught, how I actually prioritize it is going to be an... oh no, Bird Dog. Is going to be... man, it would probably... maybe Zoanthropes, Tyrannifex, Exocrine. But in my opinion right now, I'm not really running any shooting platforms in Vanguard Onslaught. I'm just punching. I'm just punching. Okay, and then so one more thing that I actually forgot to notice. Welcome, Bird Dog. What I would actually do is I would cut one squad of Gargoyles, cut Neuronode from the Broodlord, boom, do that, and then put in a Neurotyrant. That's 105 points. That's perfect. Because something that I've also noticed with Vanguard Onslaught, especially in like a more very aggressive melee build, and this list maybe is not fully into that, is you run out of stuff screening your backfield. And Neurotyrant is going to be great at screening your backfield. What I do, like turn 1, in order to ensure that my backfield is screened, make sure my Neurotyrant is on one side of my backfield, Biovore is on the other, and then I have the Biovore shoot a Spore Mine directly in the center between those two, and that normally screens out everything that really is needed. Of course, if you have a secondary that Biovore is incredibly relevant in, then you want to think about it that way and maybe activate the Biovore and shoot the Spore Mine over there. However, you know, if you've got an opponent that has like a really, really spooky up-down or something like that, then I think screening out your backfield is probably very, very important. Would one Exocrine not be worth keeping for the reroll 1s of 1 for the army? So it's only reroll 1s in shooting. So at that point, I don't think so. Because you only have the Tyrannifexes. And honestly, you're probably like reserving one of the Tyrannifexes and hoping that the other can just post up at an angle and then hit on 2s. So I don't know. I think I'm more excited about Rupture Cannon Tyrannifexes and Vanguard than I am Exocrine. Now, Exocrine's a great data sheet. If you feel like your meta is better suited to 2 Exocrines instead of like more support from the hyper-adapted Raveners, that's fine, you know? Yeah, it's just shooting. Yeah, yep. Cool. Awesome. Fantastic. For those of you just joining us, we do have a super chat goal. Our Tyranid content is going to be shifted to a new channel, Hive Mind Hobbies. It's just going to be curated by me. It's going to be a good time. So part of that super chat goal is we are going to make a video deploying one of these armies. After we finish, of course, I'll probably do it, even if we don't get the super chat goal, just because I kind of want to do it. But that's going to be the focus on it, and it will be then posted on Hivebind Hobbies. And we're going to randomly select which list we are going to deploy. So it's going to be a good time. Trenton is just getting into Warhammer and having a hard time picking between Eldari and Tyranids. Well, I play both, kind of. I'm not really good at Eldar yet, but I will say Tyranids have a great model range. They're my favorite faction. So of course you should choose Tyranids. But I do think I think Eldar are very good too. Eldar are also one of those armies that are always going to be good. Like they're just, for some reason, one or the other, they will always be good in the game. It's just kind of like their flavor, I guess. Yeah. For the hive mind, thanks, Chris. Yeah, thanks everybody who's subscribing on that new channel. I appreciate it. Yeah, Sebla, Tyranids have a whole bunch of different ways to play, so it's pretty cool. All right, True Dark Soul. I think I saw you in chat. Hi, as we kind of talked about in the stream about the idea of Synaptic Nexus Melee. Ooh, I'm actually really excited about this. Let's see what one True Dark Soul has. So I tried to cook up something. As in general, I'm fairly new to the hobby, so I'm looking forward to feedback and thoughts. Kind of mean list. United Wargamer, great to see you. Nothing like really crazy. Big news is Tyranid content is going to be shifting to a different channel, and W&W is going to be more focused on generalized Warhammer. That's it. Nothing super big. The same amount of content is going to be put out. Just Tyranids might be in a different place, and W&W is going to shift a little bit more towards a wider audience there. I've linked the channel up there in chat. It should be pinned, or it should be in the description down below. But yeah, that's all the news. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, of course, Trenton. And True Dark Soul is here. I'm thinking about splitting the 20 brick into 10s. Maybe Hormagaunts? Yeah. Also, I'm not sure switching Gargs for another Hormagaunt squad just for the meme feeling. So Sebla, those streams will move to Hive Mind Hobbies as well. Yes, hide the bugs. But I'm still going to finish off all the posts that we have on W&W, of course. And you know, I'm still honoring all memberships that are on W&W. We'll keep the same priority in W&W and Hive Mind Hobbies. There's nothing wrong with that as well. Just for the meme feel. I don't think Hormagaunts are a meme feel in Synaptic Nexus with all of this. For me, it's just a fun little list, not even to win with it. Oh, one True Dark Soul. Let's make you win. You know what I'm talking about? Game plan is setting the simulator up on the center and slicing everything with an AP3 or AP4 with help of the Psychophage, and swarm everything with the Hormagaunts. Raveners will burrow to wherever Synapse is needed. Okay, so the list, we have Hyperdapted Raveners. We have with Synaptic Control. I don't think the Hyperdapted Raveners benefit from Synaptic Control, because I don't think... Oh, no, Synaptic Control is -1 damage. Okay, gotcha. I honestly think that Synaptic Control would be better on the Hive Tyrant. Just swap those two enhancements, because you still kind of want the Hive Tyrant to last a little bit longer. Then we have 10 Gargoyles, 30 Hormagaunts, one True Soul. I would start with the 20 Hormagaunts and see how they are, and then kind of go from there. Biovore, Lictor, Neurolictor, 5 Raveners, of course, Exocrine, Maleceptor, Norn Assimilator, Psychophage, Tyranifex. Okay, so one True Soul. This list is cool. This list is sweet. All right? That being said, I'm going to make some changes, and I want to keep the essence of the list the same with the 20 Hormagaunt squad. I just think there's some units that we're really, really going to need in order to kind of like push that melee threshold to see if we can really test out the Synaptic Nexus melee build. And one of those things is, I think we got too many shooting things. You know, I think the Norn is pretty sweet, but if we're going to try and lean into like the Hormagaunts and the melee side of it, I think it's too much. How much was that? 275? 275. All right, so we got 275 points to play with. 275 points to play with. I think Exocrines are all right as well. Maybe we drop a Lictor, or maybe we drop the Neurolictor specifically. I would say let's also drop the Winged Tyrant, and let's see what we can do with this. So 185. what is that? 185 plus 275. 185 plus 275 is 460. That's a lot of points to play with, folks. And what I would like to do, One True Soul, are you okay with 20 Raveners? Would you be able to do 20 Raveners? Or, because I'm also kind of trying to lean towards your collection as well. So if you don't have 20 Raveners, you know, I don't want to be like, oh, play this list. You know what I'm saying? But I think another squad of Raveners would actually be kind of sick. So let's see. And True Soul will get back to us. So 460 minus 285 equals 175 points. And I think that's a pretty easy fix from there. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Oh, sweet. Guys, you heard it here first. One True Soul is swimming in Raveners. And then hyperdopted. We'll copy this again and paste. And then we are going to get rid of this because it's no longer there. Okay. And then that means we have 175 points left, right? Something that I also kind of really like is a neuro tyrant. And I actually really feel like we absolutely need a neuro tyrant because you want to make sure that your Hormagaunts have synapse all the time in order to get the buffs that Synaptic Nexus has, right? So in this case, which is kind of strange for me, we can either drop a Maleceptor or drop a Tyrannifex. Ooh, I don't. Because I also want to have the Zoanthropes with them. I do. Let's drop Will. Thank you so much. I have no idea why that did not update the super chat goal, but we're on our way to reaching our goal. Thank you so much, Will. I really appreciate the support, man. T-Fex go bye-bye. All right. Chat said it. All right, so we're going to have 375 points then. And we could probably do we're going to do Zoanthropes, which is so that's going to be 200 points. And then, so this will be 305. And then we will do, whoa, Bennis! Thank you. Okay, so we'll count that as 6. So really, one more, what? I guess 2 more memberships. I feel like my math is bad. I said 1 membership is 2. I'm sorry. I'm not good at that kind of math. Anyways, so 305 points, and then we have 70 points left over. We also want the synaptic, what is it? I forget. Power of the Hive Mind. We want Power of the Hive Mind. Neuro Tyrant, 105 points, and that's plus. Is Power of the Hive Mind plus 10 or 20? Give me 1 second, 40k Christian. I'll let you know. Subterranean Assault. I think it's 20 points, right? Or is it 10 points? My app thinks I'm not subscribed all of a sudden, which is great. Thanks, Games Workshop. Power of the Hive. Power of the Hive Mind. 10 points. Wow, that's a very cheap enhancement for what it does. Okay, sweet. So that means we're at 65 points. Honestly, just a second Lictor. Bennis, you hope I deploy this one? Yeah, that would be kind of sweet. All right, cool. So top to bottom, this very interesting list. This would be fun to play on stream sometimes. I might change it a little bit, but we'll see. We have 2 hyperdaptives. We have with the Neurotyrant with Power of the Hive Mind. We have Gargoyles, Hormagaunts, 20-man Hormagaunts, a Biovore, double Lictor, And then actually, we had 65 points? Dude. What if we lean full meme 20 Hormigons instead of the third Lictor? Or instead of the second Lictor, whatever it was. That would be sweet. Biowar, Lictor, Neurolictor, Raveners, Excrin, Maleceptor, Psychophage, and Zoanthropes. Okay, sweet. So Christopher is asking, how do we submit lists? Okay, so on YouTube, hold on, let me go face cam. Boop. Excuse me. Sorry. Don't mind me. Just passing through. Just passing by. Have you guys seen that? What is it? Like Sea of Thieves? All right. So here we're back to this. Okay, cool. So this is on W&W. Of course, if you go to our post part right here on W&W, this is where this is. Now, this is going to be moving soon, but I think the next couple of streams, I'm going to clear out all these comments. It is going to be moving to Hivemind Hobbies pretty soon. But go ahead and submit your list on W&W. If you're seeing this and there's a post, the Sea of Thieves clips, yeah. If there's not a post on Hivemind Hobbies, eventually we will be shifting everything to Hivemind Hobbies. But go ahead and post it here onto Wednesday Night Warhammer. Just copy and paste it, whatever, army list thing that you're doing, and it should be there. Sick. Awesome. Cool. Moving right on. I believe that was our last member. Yeah, see, I've never played Sea of Thieves, but I think I would probably actually really enjoy it. We just passed by. That's like the funniest clip ever. It's really, really funny. This guy's just getting wrecked. I'm just here. All right, cool. Moving on. We've got Cotter Feedy. Awesome. He says, hello, Jordan. I've been watching your video for a while now, and they really helped me while I'm confused. Of course, Christian. I'm glad you're here, man. About my army, I decided to send my list for you to review. This will be my list once I get my second Exocrine and Tyranid this week. Any tips will be appreciated. Thanks, Connors. Yeah, it seems like a really fun game. Invasion Fleet. There was once a point in time where I felt like the perfectly adapted Broodlord was a mascot of the channel. Broodlord perfectly adapted. Hive Tyrant with adaptive biology. He's full melee as well. Seems super sweet. Gargoyles, Hormigant, double Termagants. Now, I am, unfortunately, in this edition, I'm not a huge fan of Termagants. I'm really not. Sorry. But, so they might be kind of on the chopping block, Connor. We'll see. And we're at 1975 points. So we have 25 points to play with, which is super sweet. Excrin, Gene Stealer, Lictor, Maleceptor, Norn Emissary, Tyranid, Von Rhines. This list is really, really actually not bad at all. And it might be kind of lame, but there's we also don't have a Neurotyrant. Oh, we only have one Lictor. Okay, all right. Okay, so we can't just throw in an Excrin. All right, so we're gonna drop the Termagants. I don't think they're the best unit for us right now, and I think we're also going to drop the Von Ryans and immediately switch the Von Ryans to a Lictor. In my opinion, if you have a 50mm base and you have Von Ryans, I would just put Von Ryans on sticky tack and put it on a 50mm base. And then just proxy them as Lictors if you don't have a bunch of Lictors. Because your opponents are going to be like, what is that? That looks like a Lictor. It's fine. Moving along. But this is Invasion Fleet. I also think we're going to need a... this would be 130 points. Oh, perfect. We're done. We got it. Boom. 130 points. And what we do, we need a Neurotyrant. Sorry, I forgot what I was saying. So 130 points. What you're going to do is you're going to put a Neurotyrant. Check it out. Tyrant. And then 105 points. And then you're just going to upgrade the Hormigants to a Gargoyle squad. I will say, I think Hormigants are fine. I think Hormagaunts are good as the third chaff unit. In my opinion, just like 2 gargoyle squads are really, really just kind of where it's at. You know what I'm saying? But then everything else looks great. I ran a list very similar. I do like the Norn. I think the Norn is super, super cool. Maybe like a Maleceptor. Dropping the Maleceptor for another melee kind of unit or something. But who knows? Who knows? You actually don't have lictors and could do that. Yeah, dude. Go on, go on eBay or go on Amazon, whatever you use for shopping, and just search 50 millimeter Warhammer bases. Go get yourself some Warhammer bases. I would not glue the bases on just so that you can okay, they're Von Ryans now or lictors. Some sticky tack, put the Von Ryans on, boom, they're lictors. Nobody's going to argue with you. And if they argue with you about that, they're lame, okay? And I feel comfortable saying that. Anyways, moving on. Thank you again so much for the support, guys. I'm going to go ahead and do the video at the end and on Hivemind Hobbies, just deploying one of these lists. It'll be a great time. Make sure you subscribe to that channel so you can see when that deployment video is up. And it'll be a great time. For some reason... Oh, I had gargoyles there. Anyways, moving on. Oh, yeah, Secondhand Geek. I'm so sorry, folks. I forgot. There's so much going on. Secondhand Geek. Let's take a field trip real quick. We're going to take a look at what's for sale on Secondhand Geek. And if you're needing 40 Hormagaunts, if you're needing, lictors, look, they got... Hold on, let me go to this. Look, they got old school Gene Stealers. Boom. Get them. I like old school Gene Stealers. Let's go to the cool part. Oh, look. Accepts offers on a Tyrannifex. Tyranids. You get some new Ravener bits. They still got the Combat Patrol. Seems sweet. Psychophages are on the up, in my opinion. So $22 for a Psychophage seems really good. Also $14 for a Tyranid Prime. I'm going to stop showing this because maybe I want, Never mind. Moving on. Thank you, Secondhand Geek. Okay, we're talking about Fabian now. Fabian Verdam. 7220. I kind of wish I had a name like, is it Fabian or Fabian? Like that. Seems pretty cool. Anyways, he says, hey, Jordan, big fan of the channel. Hey, man. Big fan of you. And thanks for you providing so much information to the hive mind. I've been collecting NIDs for a few months now and played a 1K game twice and a 1.5K game recently. After losing, I've been looking at my army list and decided to upgrade a little. Got a Maleceptor, Death Leaper, and a second Broodlord, mainly for trying out Vanguard sometime. Awesome. Incoming in the mail tomorrow and decided to make a 2,000 point invasion fleet list with the new cuties. Lictors have done great work for me so far, so I want to experience how tough the Death Leaper is. I really like the Death Leaper. And I have to try out the Maleceptor. Yep, also a very good unit. Feel free to cut the second Broodlord. I don't know. Let's take a look. Well, I might like the second Broodlord. Here's the list, and thank you for the review in advance. Invasion Fleet. Hive Tyrant with Adaptive Biology. Oh, let's not look there. We got Death Leaper, Broodlord. Hive Tyrant with Adaptive Biology. And we're at 1990, so we do have 10 points to play with. Gargoyles, Hormagaunts, Biovore, 10 Gene Stealers and 5 Gene Stealers. Now, you're painting a Harspex. What should I name him? Thank you so much for the super chat. I feel like everything else needs to stop. We need to figure out what the Tentacle Maw Harspex is going to be named. I don't know, chat. You gotta help us out. I feel like my call him Cuddles. You could do that. You could Cuddles or I don't know. So here's I'm actually currently making a video about a 5-man Gene Stealer unit with a Broodlord. Sixpex, Harry, Bill. Wiggles is good too. I don't know. I like Harold Harspex. Anyways, I actually kind of like the 5-man Gene Stealer brick instead of the 10 because it's a very small footprint and it offers to be like a trading piece that the 10-man unit is absolutely not because you have to kind of baby that unit. Anyways, we got a Lictor, Neurolictor, 3 Zoanthropes, an Excrement, Maleceptor, Psychophage, and Tyrannifex. Okay. This is the second to last list. Okay, sweet. Excrement, Maleceptor, Psychophage, Tyrannifex. We have 10 points. I don't think you cut the second Broodlord. I think it's fine. I think you should try the 5-man unit and see how you like it. Oh my gosh. Secondhand Geek. It's gotta be Optimus Prime. It has to, right? Maybe Optimus Slime? Cuddle's the best so far. Optimus Prime is pretty good. Maybe that's more like a Lictor, though, I would say. All right. So things I don't like about this list, and it's not a lot. You know, you're running good units. I think the Psychophage is okay, but with like the multiple Broodlords, there's a good argument for them. I don't think that the Zoanthropes are going to be worth the investment. So in my opinion, I don't know, Grabby's a pretty good name too. I think we dropped the Zoanthropes for sure. So we're going to be at 110 points to start. And then I think we really actually want this Neurolictor to be a second Lictor. It's going to save us 20 points. And then I think a Lictor is still really doing the things that you want it to do. Right? So 130 points. Thing that I also kind of want is I don't know what the heck I just did. I want the Tyrannifex to be... I want the Tyrannifex to have a buddy. You know? That's what I would like. I think that would be good for the Tyrannifex. Let's see, are there any... Adaptive Biology is the only... We do have a Death Leaper. Do we really need... Death Leaper's pretty cool. I'm going to be honest. At this point, I'm thinking that I would probably want to drop the Psychophage, which is sad because it has a betentacled maw. And I think we put the second Tyrannifex in. Then we have 40 points left over. And with that 40 points, what we're going to do is we're going to just slam a Pyrovore in. Pyrovores are good. I like them. They're strong, and they help with Maleceptors. They help with Exocrines. They help with everything. All right, our last list. One more reminder. New channel popping up. And the video that I'm about to make after this stream is going to be posted on that new channel. I'll post it again in the chat. Comment, like, subscribe on stuff on there, and see if it's just going to be the same Tyranid content. So odds are, if you're liking this content, it's going to be over there. So the video that I make about deploying whatever list we end up looking at is going to be posted on that channel. Actually, as like the first channel there. So take a look at it after this stream. It will be up there. So just one last plug before we get going on this. Cool. We got Droopy Pizzato. I am convinced that that is how that is pronounced. Droopy Pizzato. Botanical Maw says, I was torn between Linda, Peanut, and Jordan, but I think Cuddles is the best. So I played D&D. And one of our campaigns, I had like a necromancer that was like way too powerful. My DM said yes to too many things. And I actually had a hill giant that I had turned into a skeleton, and its name was Linda. And we played the entire campaign with Linda until the very end. And Linda just like would destroy things. She was very, very strong. Awesome, Sebla. See you later, man. So I would say either Linda, Peanut, or Cuddles. I think those are my favorite out of those choices. Okay, back to this. Hey, Jordan, I've recently taken an interest in Tyranids after playing CSM for a short while. Man, CSM is another really cool faction. This list I want to make is 1,000 points, but I want to make it... Whoa! Alex! Thank you so much. I really support... you are so kind. I really, really appreciate the support, man. That made my day. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Man, you guys are cool. You guys are really, really cool. I really do appreciate it. He wants to make a 1,000 point list, but I want to make it expandable if I ever want to make a 2,000 point list. I want at least one Haruspex. You're in good company. And one Neurolictor in my army because I already have those. Sweet. Can do. Alex is a champ, for sure. I also wanted to thank you for all your help you brought me in your previous videos. Thank you so much. The idea for my list is to make 2 tunnels. Oh, it's subterranean assault. Hell yeah. And ambush my opponent with 2 Haruspecs. I love that idea. By starting Trigon, 2 Haruspecs, and Raveners all in a reserve. In through the Trimmer Sense enhancement, I can teleport. And, yep. Worst case, I can stall earlier turns. Yep. Okay, so here's the thing. With Raveners, definitely in Subterranean Assault, actually all the time, Raveners you're going to want to start on the table. For sure. Okay, but let's take a look at the rest of the list. Hard mode question, which faction do you think is not cool? This is for Jonesy. This is for Dylan. Emperor's Children. Anyways. I think Emperor's Children are fine. I just like bugging Jonesy with that. Anyways. Okay, Broodlord with Tremor Sense. Trigon. Gargoyles, Biovore. Gene Stealers, Neurolictor, Raveners, Haruspecs. Okay, so I think I like Eldar. I think Eldar are cool. Oh, by the way, Botanical Mom, I did get my elves. Sorry, I've been very busy. I meant to message you, but thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Cool. So I think we actually want to. I think the Broodlord Genestealer brick is just too many points invested into that blob. So that's 230 points. Oh, this is kind of actually perfect. All right, so we drop. So we're gonna have 230 points. We're keeping. Actually, we're gonna have 250 points. We're not gonna keep Tremor Senses, and instead, I'm gonna walk you through how to do the uppy downy kind of thing. I need to make a video on how to deep strike in Subterranean Assault because I think that's a pretty good topic. We're gonna do a Neurotyrant. I agree. They scare my innocent buggies too. They're all sus or whatever the kids say. Neurotyrant, and you don't want Zoanthropes or whatever. You just got the Neurotyrant. And then, actually, do we need a Neurotyrant? I don't think we need to. 250 points. Yeah, the Coneheads guys are a little interesting. I agree with you. If we did, instead of the Neurotyrant, we could do this. This would be fun. Like, instead of the Neurotyrant, what was it? Where's my train of thought? Oh, you do like, and you don't even need to really make this guy a character. I wouldn't. Just do, because it's, oh, you also want it to be expandable. Okay. So, yes. So if you're going expandable, yes, the Gene Stealers and Broodlord. I now that I'm remembering that part of it, I think your list is great, considering that you're really hoping to go up to 2K. However, I don't think I love Gene Stealers in Subterranean Assault. That's just my opinion. Zooming in on this list specifically, I think what you could do is 1 times Psychophage, which is 110 points, and then you wrap it up with another Trigon, which would be pretty sweet. But if you're going more the expandable list style, then I think your first list is correct. I think that is good. Units to buy, since you're getting into Tyranids, I always like talking about units to buy. I think the best unit to buy for Tyranids right now is the Tyranifex kit, because it is actually pretty affordable compared to all the other kits. I don't really know why the Tyranifex is so much cheaper than an Exocrine, but it is. And you can magnetize it to be a multiple different kind of weapon options. Hey, what's up, NG? And you can also make it a Turbogon if you dive into magnetizing a little bit. So Tyranifex is good. Gene Stealers you already have, which are pretty good. I think Gargoyles and Hormagaunts are also really, really strong buys. Biovore you have as well. and get yourself some lictors. And I talked about this earlier on in the video. Get a squad of Von Ryan's Leapers, right? Go online. eBay has them. I think Amazon might have them. You can get 50 millimeter bases for really, really cheap. Sticky tack your Von Ryan's Leapers onto 50 millimeter bases and run them as lictors. Who cares, you know? And then when you want to run them as Von Ryan's, just peel them off the sticky tack and then you're fine. I think that's a really, really good budget option because Von Ryan's Leapers are very easy to find. Lictors, not as much, and also much more expensive. Told me that they rarely raise prices for miniatures. Yes, exactly. Tyrant Effects is super, super cheap compared. But, and it is also like really good. I did, oh, you have Tyrant Effects that ignores cover. NG, is it the Rupture Cannon? Or is, oh, Rupture Cannon, yeah. That's pretty good. It's really good in the game too right now. So, but like Exocrines, really tough kits to get, you know? Don't even get me started on Maliceptors. I'm convinced that I bought the last Maliceptors. Okay, cool. So I forget where, get out of here, ad. Get out of here. Sorry, you guys are just gonna, there you go. Okay, now it's all distorted. I forget whose list is which, but 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the members this members list, and I'm going to go over a deployment video as well as a first turn simulation over on Hivemind Hobbies. I'm going to record that video directly after the stream and post it on there. One more time, let's see if I can post it in chat. If you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate if you went over there and supported that. Tyranid content is going to be there. It's going to be great. If you like the stuff we do over here, promise you you're going to like the stuff that I do over there. But anyways, let's see which list we are going to deploy and simulate in that video. Thank you again for all your support. Really appreciate everybody. You guys truly are an incredible community. And that is number 4. Number 4. I think that number 4 is that crazy Synaptic Nexus list, which I'm actually very excited about. 1, 2, 3, 4. True Dark Soul. Awesome. This is a new wrinkle. I don't know what you're talking about. Yep. Oh, yeah. Hyperdepth Raveners come out this weekend. I'm going to try and get them. Sweet. Awesome. So if you want to see this really kind of funky, really kind of cool Synaptic Nexus list be deployed, head on over to Hivemind Hobbies. I'm going to record that video right now, and then I'll post it hopefully within the hour, maybe around 7:30 or something. Anyways, thank you again for your support. I really appreciate everybody hanging out and supporting the launch of the new channel. And I will see you. Oh, I'm going to see you tomorrow. Zach is playing Tyranids. I'm playing Blood Angels. It's going to be a great time. I'll see you then. Bye.